Good day, fellow geeks! On this week's episode of Geeks of Azeroth, we've got a new trailer for the Warcraft movie, publishing lead leaving Blizzard, and new animated shorts, all that and more on this week's episode of Geeks of Azeroth! By geeks.
About geeks.
For geeks. Welcome to Geeks of Azeroth!
Hello, and welcome to the show. My name is Tarley, and with me, as always, we have Britzza and Clapping Korean. How's it going, guys?
Clapping Korean.
And by that I mean by that I mean Big Voodoo. If you're not watching the video, his webcam was not working today, so in place I have a GIF of a clapping Korean who just won StarCraft. So I thought it was very fitting.
A sign of things to come when we win all the Blizzard's esports.
Exactly. Britzza will turn, Big Voodoo will turn Korean.
that would be, I think, the epitome of all StarCraft players, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, how's it going this week, gentlemen? Big Voodoo, how was your week in gaming? What have you been up to?
Not a whole lot, really. Been playing a little bit of StarCraft, a little bit of Heroes, a little bit of Hearthstone. Hit rank 14 this morning on Hearthstone, so...
Nice. And like we mentioned last week, there is a series coming out about Big Voodoo playing StarCraft. It just has yet to be edited by someone. God, what is wrong with that person? I'll get around to it eventually. Britzza, how about you? How's your week?
Yeah, still cracking on with the DK. Now actually in Warlords content. And it's now a real roadblock. If I wasn't enjoying DK so much, I would find this so painful, doing this for the 5th time now. It's my Warlock, now I've got him to 100. It's almost unplayable because I didn't progress any of the garrison stuff. So I have like 3 followers who are level 90. And I just can't be bothered to go around collecting any of the more followers, especially considering Legion's around the corner and I've got other things to do with my other characters. But I think with DK, I'm going to try and do the garrison stuff just to make it a bit more bearable at end game. But otherwise, pressing towards... at the moment, I'm ranked 22 on Heroes. So I'm in the top half, at least.
Nice.
And I'm going to see if I can get that... firstly above 20 or below 20 I should say, and then see if I can try and push for like 15 or something like that. And otherwise I have gone heavy on book ordering. I pre-ordered the World of Warcraft Chronicles Volume 1, which
I believe that's
out.
available now, isn't it?
It's available in the US. In the UK we've got to ship it, so I won't actually get it until, it's saying about the 7th or 13th of April.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, people in the UK like me got a bit of a wait to go. But on top of that,
like to pick that up. That looks very good.
It looks amazing, and like some of the people we were talking to on Twitter really liking it. It just looks so cool. And plus, it's great to finally actually have as Chris Metzen said in the trailer. You know, finally we have a sort of single source for all Warcraft lore, because it's getting a bit packed and conflicted. And on top of that, I pre-ordered the Illidan novel that's coming out, the Legion Deluxe hardcover sketchbook, and the Ultimate Visual Guide. So
wow.
I'm going to be WoW Lord out probably for the next month and a half. So all good stuff, albeit expensive.
Yes.
What about you?
Well, I have actually taken to leveling a DK as well. Another DK on the Horde side, so I can stop transferring my main DK back and forth consistently.
Okay.
I will just have 2.
What level are you up to so far?
61, and I'm finding it very sad to see that as a blood DK, as a tank, I still have like 15-minute dungeon queues. That shows how little people are actually leveling in the game. It's a bit odd.
Yeah, that is odd. I'm tending to have about half an hour dungeon queues, but...
Yeah. Otherwise, still a lot of Overwatch in the meantime. Still not getting old.
Is it still fun?
Oh yeah, I enjoy it thoroughly. I lose a lot, and that gets frustrating. But There's no real coordination with the random groups of people I've discovered. It would work a lot better if I had friends in the game. But
You've got to wait for us.
I don't know. I feel like it's
split us
more torture that I have the game and none of my friends do.
Well, Zul has
Okay,
it.
so it's
No, it's not.
Zul has it, but he won't play it anyway.
And I think, we haven't got that long to go. But
Right.
I wonder whether people will feel like a bit of burnout, the beta players, that is. Like,
Yeah,
it'll finally get released and you'll just think, oh, no, I'm bored.
That's probably how it'll be. Big Voodoo will finally get it, and I'm over that. Back to WoW. But anyway, I think it's time for the first segment of the show. If I could find the sounders, I thought I had the sounders folder pulled up, but I did not. Big Voodoo, sing us a distracting song.
Warcraft
I got
is
nothing.
the best game in the world.
All right, here's the sounder. It's time for News of the Week.
Hey, we recording? Yeah? Okay.
News of the Week. And the sounder just stopped, so there we are. News of the Week. Okay.
Just roll with it.
just roll with it. Okay, jumping right in. There is a new Warcraft movie trailer, and it gives us a glimpse, a very good glimpse of Gul'dan. And I will pull up that screenshot right now. It is quite impressive, to say the least. What do you guys think? Have you seen this image of Gul'dan? I mean, it happens in the trailer so quickly,
Yeah.
that you
I
don't
missed
even notice it until you kind of pause it on him, and you realize, wow, this is really cool looking Gul'dan.
I'm going to ask a quick question to you guys. In terms of visuals alone, does this look better than the Warlords opening cinematic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Except there's a shot that people are talking about that's going around, like a lot of hate going around the internet, and I'm going to see if I can find it. But there's a scene in the trailer, if you haven't watched the trailer yet, you should, but of the orc and the human sparring with each other in the desert, whatever that's supposed to be. But the scene looks so poorly animated. And
Is that when he does the sliding move underneath it?
Yeah, so that whole... Yeah.
That did look a little bit fake.
It's not really the character animation that did it for me. It was the background. The whole... everything felt really floaty and...
It's... Yeah, I think there are probably some things that aren't... It's a really out there CGI film. So there
Right.
are going to be things... And plus, we are spoiled in the Blizzard community for sort of CGI. So...
And in its defense, I really stuttered over what I was saying there. In its defense, the game is really, or the movie's really trying to look like the game. Like they are, it seems like they're going out of their way to actually accomplish that. And for the most part, it really does look like the game.
Well, you say that. You know the scene with the dwarf and the gun?
Yes.
That is almost taken from the vanilla cinematic. That almost like the gesture itself. And I really liked that because I think they have taken a huge amount probably from the cinematics and a lot that Blizzard already produced. Mm. So yeah, I really liked that little... I don't know if that counts as an Easter egg. It probably isn't, but it's cool at least. No bear though. You know, it would have been better if there was a bear and Leonardo DiCaprio sort of just in the background.
Leonardo DiCaprio just suddenly shows up in Warcraft.
He does. He cameos with the bear at all times.
Riding the bear.
What did you think about the other characters and sort of the rest of the trailer? I mean, there's a lot we've already seen before, but I think it was sort of the same scenes but different bits of those scenes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, seeing Khadgar, I thought was really cool. Seeing him cast teleport. We know what teleport looks like in the movie now, so that is, I don't know. I'm just stoked for it, honestly. Mm. What did you think of the trailer, Big Voodoo? Yeah, I assume you watched it.
So the only issue I have with it is Grona almost looks too human. Like, she doesn't feel like she looks very orky to me.
Yeah, she isn't CGI at all, if I'm not mistaken. I think she is actually just in costume character.
Yeah. I did see what you mean. It does feel like, you know, that the only part of her that's orc is that they made her green.
Yeah.
She has some
tusks.
pointy
She has
fangs,
the
which is kind of all they've done actually to the costume. Yeah, but I guess how could you go that a little bit further? Would it just be a lot more muscular, or would you just make her CGI potentially?
I don't know. Like, I don't have a great fix for it, but that's like my only criticism for it, really. I expect some parts to feel kind of fake because of how much CG there is. I've accepted that already, but Grona she
looks too real. It's out of place.
She looks too human.
Yeah.
I want an orc.
You're going to get loads of orcs, though.
Well, Big Voodoo, she's not that kind of orc.
She's not that kind of orc.
Well, I actually did finally find the still image I was looking for. I'll pull it up here on the screen. So just to those any watching the video, this is more what I'm referring to. You can see it just the desert here and the background with the ocean back here. It literally looks like two photoshopped images together, kind of. That really threw me off. Otherwise, great trailer.
And now we've just got the movie to go. No more trailers, just the movie. And to be honest, I have heard nothing but good things about this film.
Right.
I haven't heard anyone yet say, this is awful, this is not the Warcraft movie I wanted.
It was supposed to come out in the spring, and they pushed it to the summer because, hey, this movie can actually compete with a summer lineup. So,
do we think if they had stuck with going up against Star Wars, they would have come out
well? No movie.
I mean, it's good, but I don't think it's that good.
No movie in its right mind would release the same weekend as Star Wars and expect to do well.
Although, when's Star Wars DVDs coming out? Not that they'd compete in the same way, but...
First weekend of April, I believe.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Be a bit of a kick in the teeth if Star Wars moved their DVD release to June.
Alright, anything else on the movie trailer?
Looks awesome.
Alright. Well, moving on, publishing lead Mikey Nielsen leaving Blizzard. Sad day. Britzza, tell us why.
Now you've made me doubt how I was going to say it. Not that I'm the best guy at pronouncing names. God, I can't even get words out in general. Not even following English. Mickey Nielsen is he's been the senior story developer, senior writer, and he at Blizzard, and he's currently the publishing lead at Blizzard Entertainment. So he's been really at the sort of core of Blizzard for a really long time now, for about 22 years. And really, I guess that the crux of this is that it's another big name in Blizzard just moving on to other things. And we've got a little post from him, which I'll just read out very quickly. He says, after 20 years, I'm leaving Blizzard. The time has come for me to pursue personal projects that I love. I'll be moving to California, or from California to Washington State. My last day will be March 25th. I look forward to working with Blizzard on freelance projects, one of which will be announced shortly, possibly a hint towards the Overwatch mini videos. Aside from that, my upcoming works might include more game-related writing, script writing, consultation, and most certainly novels, all of which will be announced and discussed right here in this newsletter once a month. I spent some of my best years of my life at Blizzard. It's a bittersweet departure, to say the least, but I'm excited for all the opportunities that lie ahead. So there you have it, the big news. Thank you for all your continued support. So yeah, and then the little post from Blizzard Watch continues to say that he's worked on World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Warcraft 3, Lost Vikings 2, and he's written novels and comics for Warcraft, StarCraft, and Diablo. So he really is a core part of Blizzard through the last 2 decades, really. So
what you're telling me is now World of Warcraft is going to die.
The corpse is going to mould ever slightly more. World of Warcraft died years ago, Tarley.
Right.
The moment we lost 12 million, that's it.
No, but, I mean, at least this is a good departure because he'll still be working with Blizzard. He just won't be working permanently for Blizzard. Yeah.
Yeah. No, go on, Big Goody.
What do you think about this clapping Korean?
No, I don't think it's all bad. I mean, it could give them the opportunity to bring in new people who might have some fresh takes on some of his stories to expand on, as well as he's still going to be, working with them for from the sounds of it. So he's not entirely gone. I don't see it ending poorly. I mean, it could. Blizzard could just die tomorrow, but I don't find that terribly likely.
Sure.
It's weird as well because at the same time these are people's jobs, and I think many of us, it's hard to imagine you could stay working unless you have an amazing job, You think if you've worked somewhere for 22 years, you might feel the itch to try something new. But yeah, I think the community always reacts from the perspective of the hobby, which is like, imagine one of us just giving up on Blizzard games. That's how it sounds to us.
Right.
But really, he's probably just, decided he wants to just have a bit more creative freedom. Yeah, that's it. It's just the career move. And like Big Voodoo just said, he's probably going to just still work with Blizzard just on his own terms and just be able to dabble in other things that would conflict with that. So
like witchcraft.
Like witchcraft. Yes, exactly. I was beginning to think, like, is that a game or something like that? But yeah, so I think, it's great to see that, that he's still going to be connected to Blizzard, but at the same time, huge part of the business and works on some amazing things.
Mm-hmm. So I'm actually excited to see since he's, made so many comics for Blizzard, see what other games he starts doing comics for. Moving to Washington, home of Valve, maybe. There we go. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
First prediction of the show.
No, but yes. Anything else on Mickey before we move on?
He did write the upcoming Overwatch graphic novel.
Oh, right, he did.
So you'll probably still be, you're still going to see things that he's done coming out of Blizzard for the next couple of weeks.
And Big Voodoo is very, very excited about it. Still clapping.
Still clapping, just can't stop clapping.
All right. Moving on, an animated short for Overwatch got announced earlier this week, and it is called Recall, the first in many that they are creating. To be telling the lore of all the characters, and this first one coming out next Tuesday will be about the Big Peanut Butter Winston. Yes, that is his nickname. Big Peanut Butter. Big P.
I thought that was just a thing they were using. I was like, where's the peanut butter coming from?
No, that's not really his nickname. It's one that has been invented by myself, but
confirmed.
Confirmed. But it looks so cool. Just the art style that they are doing with this. It looks like a Pixar movie, and I'm very excited to learn why Winston has an addiction to peanut butter. That is a part of the storyline, and we'll find out on Tuesday. But what do you guys think about this? That this is Blizzard's choice for storytelling for Overwatch, graphic novels and animations and stuff like that, but no actual storytelling in the game. Big Voodoo.
I like it. I mean, it's a lot different than what they've done with pretty much any other game they've ever done. But I like the idea. It gets them around having to force that story into a game where story wasn't necessarily the goal for the game. Like, they didn't make Overwatch to tell some big grand story. No, they're like, this would be a really fun, cool game, but we have this backstory that we want to tell too. So I like this idea, especially since Blizzard's always done really well on all of their animations, whether it be cinematics or like the animated shorts before Warlords were awesome. So yeah. I like this idea.
Yeah. What about you, Britzza? What do you think?
Yeah, I really do like it. The first thing that crossed my mind was, why can't they do, like, not necessarily CGI, but something a bit more like this for the... Remember when they did the Warlords stuff? Right. And that was all sort of 2D art and things like that. And that was cool because it was savage and it was sort of like, caveman, because the orcs are kind of primitive then. But at the same time, they were trying to introduce us to characters, like Overwatch is now, trying to introduce us to characters that not a lot of people could understand and could sort of, they hadn't had a history with unless you played the older games. So I think this is the better way to do it. Especially considering it's still in closed beta. Yeah. People like me have no idea who these characters are unless you've read all the backgrounds. So I think it's a great way, just to get us invested in the game before we buy it.
That's it. That's Blizzard's just trying to take more of our money.
They don't
using
struggle
peanut
with
butter
that.
Using peanut butter. Did somebody say peanut butter?
Are these like feel good things? Like, because are they supposed to just make us sort of fall in love with the characters? I bet they put a cute monkey in one.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. You see baby Winston holding a jar of peanut butter. I definitely think so. It's supposed to appeal to that side of us, but at the same time, I'm thinking the story is going to be sad because Winston has a peanut butter addiction, and I think something sad's going to happen in this Short story is going to start injecting peanut butter, and it's just going to get real bad for a while.
I was going to say, well, is he just part of like some?
He's going to go to peanut
test or something
PB
like that?
PB Anonymous.
Oh dear,
Yeah.
that would explain things.
Who
But
knows?
as well-
But it'll be interesting. I'm definitely excited.
Do we know? I get they did that sort of behind the scenes video, which isn't in the link that we'll have in the show notes, but it's on Battle.net somewhere.
Yeah.
Where they kind of looked at how they made these videos and what they were trying to do with them. And some of the scenes, like they've got Black Widow, so there's going to be one. Widowmaker, sorry. Why don't Black Widow? I was thinking about too much Marvel lately. Widowmaker, so they're going to have one about her. There's a scene, a fully animated scene with Tracer in it. And I don't know if Tracer's those scenes, because there's one particular bit where Tracer's running through a corridor, and it looks like Winston's observing that. Or at least the way they pan it out. So I don't know if that's Tracer as part of Winston's intro, or whether Tracer gets her own one.
I honestly think everything we've seen so far is just from the Winston one. Like everything in that making of. Yeah, if I had to guess, is probably all from the Winston one. But
that's a lot to fit in. I mean, how long are these going to be, do you think?
I'm guessing 5 minutes. But I don't know. I mean, they are truly meant to be the storytelling of the game, so half an hour would be awesome, but...
Full feature movie confirmed.
We can't say confirmed so hastily, but we do it anyway.
We do it anyway.
We do it anyway. Anything else on this, the Overwatch shorts before we move on to the final bit of news?
Which other character would you want to see after this?
Tracer being my favorite one. I would love to see one totally dedicated to her story. Yeah.
And how she sweeps chimneys.
And how she...
before she goes RAF.
Just a spoonful of sugar, loves.
You do it better than I do, and I'm British, so kudos to you, sir.
I guess. Big Voodoo, who would you like to see a video on?
You know, I think a video for Genji and Hanzo would be really cool. Since they have such a... I don't know, from what I've seen, they have a really interesting backstory.
That would be really interesting to see. What about you, Britzza?
I'd probably want to see Hanzo's as well. Again, back in that behind the scenes, there's this sort of sketch animation of what it looks like Hanzo
firing his ultimate.
Firing his ultimate, but he goes in to tackle someone, spins them around, and fires the arrow while he's tackling them. And I want to see that. To be honest, that is like the Hawkeye movie I never got. So I'm happy with that.
All right, so the final bit of news. This one kind of just came out of nowhere. I didn't even know about this till I read our show notes this morning. Blizzard voice chat alpha invites are going out. That's right, Blizzard has their own voice chat client now. And yeah, you can get into the alpha for that right now, but you will only get it if you get an invite through your Battle.net app. I guess that's the only way you can get it. I don't believe there's beta signups or anything like that anywhere. But it'll just be an app that you control through the Battle.net client, and just basically works like Skype, but you just voice chat with your Battle.net friends. I think it's very convenient, especially because Skype is not that reliable of a program.
No, it's not.
Does Overwatch? I mean, is it held back because it doesn't have voice?
Overwatch does have voice chat. People just
does it have voice chat?
People just don't use it.
Oh. Do you think it's a game that needs to use voice chat?
If you expect to win, yeah, you should
Okay.
talk with your teammates. But yeah, I mean, it seems like just the general attitude of gamers, just in general across a multi games, you know, they don't really talk to each other like they used to the days of Halo 2 on Xbox Live, you know.
That may not be a bad thing.
I know. Apparently, everybody knows my mother very well, but
here's an interesting thing. You can with the chat, you can form groups from your friends list, which I absolutely love because it means when you're not in the same game with them, you can still chat to your friends. So we could all join up. You know, we could be playing StarCraft, and me and Tarley could be playing. Well, you could be playing Overwatch, and I could be playing WoW because I'm not in any betas or anything like that. And we could all just get on a conversation and have a chat, which is great. The channels that you can create from your friends list can hold 99 players.
Mm-hmm. You can have 99 people.
You can have 99 people in a chat.
Yeah. So this
How does
to
that
me-
work?
This to me is just another example of what I've said Blizzard does, and they just do it all the time. Is they take an idea that a lot of other people have done, and then they just make it awesome. And so
How does
Blizzard,
that work? How can you have a chat with 99 people in it? What game would require you to have 99 people in the same room?
a really interesting game of StarCraft. Everybody controls one Marine.
Good point.
Two Marines.
Okay,
So
two
Warcraft's
Marines,
200,
even more
so.
awesome.
All right, that would be interesting.
I find it, it's an incredible number. It might change after they release the final version, but I'm just trying to imagine what a Skype call with 99 people would sound like.
Very disorganized, I would imagine.
Yeah.
We can barely keep
the
it
only-
organized with 3.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that
Very
or
true.
it's Taron Mill is returning?
Right. Exactly.
I will confirm that now. It's got to be Taron Mills coming back. Taron Mill versus South Shore in Legion.
Speaking of confirmed, it is time that we move on to the new segment of our show, Rumor of the Week that will be confirmed a week later. So, we do have a rumor this week to discuss, and hopefully it will be confirmed within the next week. There is a release date floating around for Legion. And it's rumored because a UK retailer listed the date on their website as like a pre-order release date type deal for Legion. Doesn't necessarily confirm anything, but I'm gonna just call it right now. Legion is coming out on June 30th. Confirmed.
Confirmed indeed.
There you go. So within the week it will be announced. Right, Big Voodoo?
Of course.
We have such a good track record lately. It would just be hard to break it.
Yeah.
The thing is, as well, this isn't actually just retailers in the UK. There are retailers in the Netherlands, Poland, yeah, just those two as well. There might be more, and the UK who have put June 30th as the release date for Legion. So most people would think that's just the placeholder, but
that's exactly what happened with Overwatch.
Exactly. IGN slips the mark there, and I think perhaps Blizzard's marketing team has let the rein go a little bit loose. Perhaps we don't know, but
I mean, it isn't actually confirmed by Blizzard yet. But I don't know. When we say stuff on the show, it tends to happen. So June 30th, mark your calendars, everyone.
These websites have not changed either. They haven't been, Blizzard hasn't been in contact and told them to remove them yet. So whether that's a sign that they don't care. Oh, it's also in the United Arab Emirates as well.
Oh, right.
So that's confirmed.
They have a huge WoW market over there.
You never know. It costs $199 over there, or whatever the currency is there. So
Worth it. Worth every penny.
Worth every penny. But yeah, do you think Blizzard would come back and comment on this then in the next 7 days? Tarley, you seem to think so.
I do. I mean, because when these kind of leaks or rumors come out and they're true, Blizzard usually responds to them with pretty quickly, like they did with the Overwatch leak. So, within a matter of days after that leak came out, they announced. Actually, it was a matter of hours of that leak coming out that they announced. But since it hasn't been announced yet, I guess we don't know for sure. But
and we were talking before the show about how that would fit in with other launches.
Mm-hmm.
And you point out, Tarley, it's 2 weeks after the Warcraft movie.
Right.
So that would be a perfect time to hook people who have seen the Warcraft movie before whatever other film comes out.
But I guess on the flip side of the coin, if people are just joining the game after getting the movie ticket, is 2 weeks enough time to acclimate yourself to the game before an expansion comes out?
Maybe.
Well, what do you want players doing? Like, do you really want them playing around in Draenor?
No, that is a good point.
I would.
They'll already get a level 100 character, so they'll be like, "All right, skip all this. We don't want you to see. Hey, look, pretty Legion stuff. Look."
Well, that's it, and it's not. I don't mean that in a kick in the face to Warlords at all. I mean that in the sense that you don't want to be joining the queue. Right. How can I put it? I don't know how to phrase it, but you don't want them joining and then sitting around for 2 months doing nothing.
Right.
Because you're not going to feel motivated to do Dreadnought end content when you know the expansion's 2 months away. So if you're going to bring them into the game, you have to have new content literally ready to go. So I would think, it would make sense to be June the 30th if they're looking to hook people from the movies, which is something we thought they were going to do with the promotion. Right. So I think there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that would suggest that, you're right, Tarley. And I think June the 30th it's not far off if it isn't exactly June the 30th.
So there we go. Everybody tweet, comment, whatever. Let us know what you think. If you can predict a date and you're right, I'll buy you a pet on the Blizzard store if it's not June 30th. So tweet us out your predictions, everybody.
To the nearest hour.
To the nearest hour. All right, moving on to our next segment of the show, unless anybody else has something to say on the Legion release date. Big Voodoo, you're kind of quiet about it.
I don't think so, really. Like, we're just right about everything.
Right?
See, like,
I was right about Overwatch, Tarley.
And Big Voodoo was right about Whispers of the Old Gods. How can you doubt us, listeners?
That's
what I need to get a prediction in. I'm the only one without a prediction. Oh.
You could predict the next Heroes of the Storm hero coming out. I mean, they might have announced it already, but...
Yeah. I might be looking at it now. Although, I did see a glance. Who's the Primal Zerg character from...
Deckard Cain?
Dahaka.
Deckard Cain. Confirmed. Dahaka's coming to Heroes. Nah. That's been announced.
I have no idea who that even is.
It's the sort of the Primal Zerg guy from Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah.
He just wants to eat things and become better.
Interesting.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. He looks like a really cool hero. His abilities are ridiculous.
I think it would be cool if his abilities, and I know we're going on a tangent here, but imagine if you have to consume minions and whatever the name of those, the super minions. I can't think of the words.
The
super
camps?
Minions. We'll go with that.
Yeah, the camps, that's it. Okay. If you have to consume those, and that's how you evolve and develop your abilities, that would be really cool. So you kind of have evolution trees to go down. That'd be fun.
I mean, it does definitely take into account the essence, because his trait builds up as you kill minions, and then you activate it to heal.
Oh, they've already announced his abilities?
Yeah.
Oh, in which case, I'm an idiot. So I just saw he's there. I probably should have read a little bit deeper before the show. So I couldn't even get a prediction right. I failed to predict something that had already been announced. So,
it's all right, Britzza. We can't all have the prediction skills.
Oh.
All right, it is time for discussion of the week.
What's a Drenna anyhow? Can I drink it? Discussion of the week.
I always forget Zul's voice is at the end of discussion of the week. It makes me miss him even more.
Oh.
All right, well, it's time for the discussion of the week, and this week we are going to be discussing something.
Something?
We're going to be talking about... Britzza, lead us into it. I just lost my train of thought.
The Lady Liadrin bit. Although was Big Voodoo suggesting we talk about Dahaka for a second?
No, I was simply giving you a link for that guy.
Oh, cool. I can look that up.
Yeah.
I will correct my... Yeah, brilliant.
Okay, so this week in discussion of the week, we're going to be talking about it, basically. Some promotion that Blizzard has done in Hearthstone. That basically, if you level a character in World of Warcraft from 1 to 20, you get a new skin for a paladin in Hearthstone. And that has made a huge surge of players playing World of Warcraft, and it's really interesting to log into a leveling zone and see people waiting to kill quest mobs. Like, I haven't seen that ever for, like, level 1 characters. It's nuts. It's cool to see, and then they all stop playing after level 20, but it's definitely interesting. And so this happening, plus the incentive to play World of Warcraft by getting the game with a movie ticket, has made me wonder if Blizzard should revamp the leveling system again. And not necessarily redoing the whole quest lines again, but maybe entirely redoing how you get from 1 to max level, because it just all feels obligatory and just not enjoyable if it's your second time at doing it, basically.
What
Maybe
would your proposed changes be?
I don't know. That's why it's a discussion.
Tear the house down. I haven't got plans for a new one, but tear it all down.
Right. But can we all agree that it is a bit mundane after 11 years and could maybe see some changes?
Honestly, I want to see the leveling process be revamped to work like it does in Legion. So, 1 to 60, you're in, vanilla content, but you can do any zone at any time that you want, and it just scales to your level.
I like that. That is a good idea. There you go. Big Voodoo, shaping the World of Warcraft as we speak.
Blizzard just needs to give me a job. That's all it is.
No, but that's definitely interesting. I think that right there could be definitely a more interesting step to doing it. But would you... I think definitely decreasing the time it takes, even though it's already faster now than it obviously was in vanilla, taking months to get to 60. I think it could still be done faster than it takes to level a character now.
Well, I think what's the average with heirloom gear? About 8 hours? 9?
8 hours.
8 to 12 hours? Oh, sorry, that's probably with XP. I'm thinking of with XP potions. Probably about 15, maybe? I don't know if that sounds reasonable.
Are you talking like 90 to 100, or are you talking like 1 to 100?
1 to 60, or...
Okay.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying 1 to 100 in 8 hours.
I'm like, what? I need to know your tricks, because I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah, no, but I think that's the thing. I'm totally with you, Tarley, because I think where those initial 60 levels are, you can speed through them so quickly. I think Blizzard now needs to take into account that, we're talking hours. It's not vanilla where it took like the better part of months to level. So I don't know. I've always thought like even small things would make it easier, like just unlocking all the Griffin, all the flight paths.
Yeah.
From the start would make things easier.
Or even if you unlocked them as you leveled, like this zone is this level requirement, so when you hit this level, you get the flight path.
Yeah, I think that would make it a lot easier. Just as a quality of life thing.
I mean, does Blizzard, say you're approaching World of Warcraft for the first time here in 2016, you've never touched it before, does the starting experience, do you think that would hook the average gamer today who's never played World of Warcraft before compared to other games that are on the market?
Well, it wouldn't matter, because if you've joined World of Warcraft, you instantly get a character boost.
That's true. That is.
So you'll never see the starting zones unless you want to go for it again.
Right.
And then by then you've probably got enough gold to do heirloom gear.
So it seems like giving everybody a level 100 character immediately just kind of devalues the base leveling experience to begin with.
Well, that's it. They kind of... I'll just say this. I think they've kind of sat on the fence. They've given people real opportunities to touch late content, but they haven't done anything to address the swathes of earlier content that's just never been updated, or just like you said, Big Voodoo, just never been adapted to make it relevant anymore. So I think they do need to do something.
So obviously this Hearthstone promotion is a good way to get people to actually see that early content, just getting to level 20. And you can get to level 20 without paying a dime for World of Warcraft as well. So if they do more promotions like this, they should definitely make the early experience a bit more interesting. If I were to change it, I would make every NPC in the early zones Murlocs. I make them giant Murloc. That's what I would do.
I think that would be a way to hook people.
Definitely.
But at the same time, I think the real intent behind this was that it would get a load of Hearthstone players to play WoW. And maybe 1% of them would say, actually, I'm really enjoying this character.
Yeah.
So I'll keep playing. I mean, spare a thought for the millions of level 20 characters that will never make it to 21. The lost generation of WoW.
I think another thing they could do is make the free experience up to at least level 60.
I don't see where that wouldn't be a problem for Blizzard. Why not let people get to 60? Hell, you could do, even up to 80 at this point, maybe even 90 at this point, without really hurting your bottom line as Blizzard.
They could ultimately do the battle chest for free. Stop charging for it. Or have the battle chest content not require a subscription fee.
Yeah.
Only have to pay a subscription fee for the current content.
Or even if it was just the last 2 expansions, like pay for Warlords and Legion right now.
And with with the way that they're doing scaling in Legion, with things being scalable so easily, you could then create content where people could raid old content with level 80 players who aren't progressing past level 80, for example, and it could still be relevant. You could have, like, Ice Crown Citadel be a difficult raid again.
Yeah.
I guess there's a cliff, though, that because at some point, if you're getting a boost, say every person levels at least 1 main to the max level of any content. So say at least one person's got a level 100 right now. Mm-hmm. When Legion launches and everyone buys it, or if they haven't pre-ordered already, they get a second level 100. And then they can take that one, either one of those 2 or both of them up to the next tier. Mm-hmm. And then when they buy the next expansion, they'll get another character boost that they'll no doubt use on another character. Then they've got 3. So at some point, you're going to have this big collection of sort of near enough max level heroes. And I just wonder, when do you just give up on starting characters from 1 again?
When you have, like myself, I have every class at least over 90.
Yeah, it's just an interesting thought. Just how long do they think that these people are going to keep re-rolling, and do they need to do things like this to keep it going?
So I mean, maybe Blizzard. A complete alternative would be no more leveling experience at all. You just create a new character fresh at the starting experience of the current expansion.
I would not like that.
But they're doing it for the Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they did it for Death Knights, but
just like Britzza said, like, he brought up a good point that you buy it, you're gonna get a max level character anyway. And then you're just going to keep doing that as expansions come out, just further and further devaluing the leveling experience altogether anyway.
Yeah, but if they keep propping it up with promotions like this, because, I mean, if you play one Blizzard game, you probably play most Blizzard games. There's not a whole lot of people that don't play multiples. And so right now, it's you hit level 20, we'll give you this neat thing in here, or in Hearthstone.
I'd love to see something like that for Overwatch. Level 20 Warcraft.
What if next time they do hit level 30 with a character? Then their next promo's 40.
Yeah.
It keeps making you push up a little bit with that character.
Yeah, that is interesting.
That's a really good idea, actually.
And then allowing, as they're doing this, allow the starter accounts to hit that level. Go up to, 60 or however high they're comfortable with, and then restart the promotion at 20. Yeah.
Big Voodoo has solved the question of the discussion of the week. I think that's actually brilliant, Big Voodoo.
That is a really good idea. I have nothing to say. I think that just trumps anything I have to say on
it.
See, this is why Blizzard
I'm going to clap along with the clapping curry.
What sort of prize would you put on that? Presumably the prize would get better. So, if you've managed to get that character, because I presume it'd be the same character each time. Right. You have to get, or maybe I guess you could do a new one. Maybe. Would it be we're talking as you get to 40s and 50s, we're talking mounts, or are we talking cool transmogs, or do you think it'd just be?
I don't know.
Stacked up. Just throw it all in.
They could shift the rewards around between games too. This time you could be getting something in Diablo for getting the character to 40.
Well, that sounds like what we're talking about. It's basically seasonal WoW heroes.
Yeah. Seasonal.
That would be a neat idea too. Actually, seasonal WoW characters, and then you just run promos.
There you go,
in their other
Britzza.
games.
You have just proposed a brilliant idea.
Well, I think I just piggybacked off Big Voodoo's, but I will take all the credit.
Seasonal WoW characters is also a really good idea, and would bring value back into the leveling experience.
Well, and especially with it's
or hardcore WoW characters. You can't die.
Well, honestly, it could work. It has with Diablo. I don't know about either of you.
Can you imagine being in a dungeon, though, and your group wipes, and you're like, well, that's the end of this character.
That would suck.
It would give kind of a justification to rage quitting, to be honest.
No, you'd hit level 40, and Kang the Decapitator would drop on your arms warrior, and you would be so stoked, and then you would wipe in the very next fight. That's how this would go, and everyone would hate themselves for it.
It's open to so much trolling. It's like as a mage, you could just literally ninja pull the boss and then just go invisible.
You guys have to start over.
And then you realise like your invisibility phase and the boss finds you.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a brilliant system. I think seasonal WoW heroes would work.
All right,
really
Blizzard.
well.
Well, we have yet again presented you with a brilliant idea. Please put it in the game.
I think they should push it to 30 next, and for 30 give you Lady Leandrin in Heroes of the Storm. I think that would be sweet.
Yeah.
Or even, it doesn't have to be a hero, just make her like a Valor skin or something.
Vala?
Yeah.
Basically,
This
just
is a paladin.
they're the same, aren't they? They're both paladins.
Uther. Make her an Uther skin.
Uther.
Oh, an Uther skin.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, make her own character. Come on. That's pretty cool.
Right. All right, so anything else on this discussion topic before we wrap up our show?
Hire Big Voodoo Blizzard.
Hire all of us, Blizzard. All right, so with that, we'd like to give some shout-outs to anybody. Hi, Mom. Anyone else have a shout-out?
Shout out to Tarley's mum as well.
Shout out to Blizzard, who still hasn't hired me.
There you go.
Oh.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for listening. As always, you're wonderful. You're beautiful. You're the only reason we're still here, alive today. Our show, as always, is available on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, and Twitch. You can find us on Twitter as well at Geeks of Azeroth. You can find me personally at Tarley_pause. And, of course, you can find Zool at ZoolGeek. And, Britzza, where can we find you?
You can find me at Britzza_EG.
And, Big Voodoo, let's hear the lead speak.
At B1GV00D00.
And, of course, you can always contact the show with messages, questions. If you would like our resumes to hire us, Blizzard, please send the request to geeksofazerotheg@gmail.com. And remember, you can always check out all the content we create at epicgeeks.co.uk. But otherwise, we'll see you here, same time, same place. Everyone have a great week in Azeroth. Yar!
This podcast is part of the Epic Geeks Network. To find out more about our other gaming podcasts, head to epicgeeks.co.uk.